Here's another video of me fighting with this thing, trying to bring it back to life. Fixing more air leaks, trying to get the brakes to work properly, trying to get it to build enough air. This is this thing here. This is the line that comes from the air compressor. It has a hole in it right here. I need to fix that. So I'm gonna get that line off. I might have to run to the parts store, get a fitting for it. I'm not sure yet. I'm getting real sick of tilting this cab up all the time. It's kind of a pain. This right here, this is the tube off the air compressor. It attaches right here, goes back to that green line, that black and green line. Broken right there. That's no good. It's rubbing on top of the bell housing right underneath all these hoses and stuff, wires, whatever it is. So I'm gonna go to Fleet Bride, see if they have a braided stainless steel line that I can just put on there. I can't hook that. I can't hook this directly to the air compressor. It gets too hot. So I'm gonna do that. Hopefully they have something and it's not ridiculously expensive. Alright guys, back from the parts store. Got this stainless braided line. A couple of fittings. I'm gonna have to reuse one of the fittings off the old one, but I think that's gonna work, and it doesn't have a hole in it. So I'm gonna get that put on and we'll see how that works. Alright, so here's what I got done so far. Put a new fuel line going from the filter over to the pump. New braided line from the air compressor to this hose. I need to reroute this. I have an air dryer to put on it, so I need to figure out where to mount that. Because this truck doesn't currently have one. This copper line that was in here had a major air leak. So it wouldn't hold air pressure at all. This line, I put an end on it and went ahead and hooked it up to the fuel tank. I put some fresh fuel in it. I drained about 10 gallons of nasty brown, not good fuel out of it, but it was running on it. So I just put some fresh fuel on top of that. I flushed out, when I had these lines off, I went ahead and filled this with fresh fuel. I took this line back off and I dumped fuel in it. I took this drain plug out, or this plug here on top of the pump. I dumped fuel in here until I got clean fuel out of there. So that means that everything from the filter to the pump has fresh fuel in it. The pump is leaking. There's a gasket in here somewhere. It's leaking. I got those ordered. I'm just waiting for them to come. I think that'll help with my throttle issue. Well, I got the cab up. I need to fix this fan. I don't know if you can see that right here. It's been hitting the fan shroud. I think it's loose and it's sliding down a little bit. These belts got a lot of slack in them. So I'm gonna push that up, tighten them up. I still need to put the mounts. There's a bracket that goes from right there to right there on both sides to stabilize, help hold the radiator. I still need to put those on. But while I got the cab up, I'm gonna fix this fan, or at least put it up where it needs to be and tighten it up so it quits hitting the shroud. And then we're gonna fire this thing up and see what the air system does. Before it would only hold about right around 60 psi, and it would leak out as fast as the air compressor could put it in. So hopefully it gets better than that. And I'll bring you guys back when I'm ready for that. Sorry, we got the cab set down and we're going to try and start this thing up and see what the air pressure does. I had a request in the comments to show what I do to start this thing. I don't know how successful this is going to be since I had the whole fuel system apart, but we'll cross our fingers and see. So, key, ignition switch. I usually just give it a bunch of throttle, and then when it starts, I let off. So the buzzer's off because it's up to, that's the most air it's ever made. The compressor should be kicking out here shortly. That governor is good for 130 psi. So that's the most air pressure it's ever been in this system since I've had it. So, yeah. Everything seems to be holding. Except for this button. Something's leaking out there, but I don't know what that is. So we'll go investigate. So I had a small air leak at the back of this gauge. There's only one. That's the only air gauge I got. This one isn't hooked up. It's a dual needle gauge, but it's not hooked up at all. This one, the hose that goes to the back of it needs to be replaced. I just cut the end of it off. It's a push lock fitting. So I just cut the hose off and shoved it back on. The hose goes from here over to this rat nest. And literally there's mice in there. It's gross. So before I go, I gotta clean that out before I mess with too much stuff in here. Because there's the hoses that go to this valve for your trailer, which isn't a huge deal, because I'm not going to tow anything that's got air brakes anyway. All the hoses are bad for it. You can hear it blowing out underneath the dash. Yeah, I'm on to adjust the brakes a little better than they were adjusted. I don't think the brakes on the rear axle are working at all. Those aren't spring brakes. I haven't figured these out. I have to clean this rat nest out in here first, so I can get down there. The mouse and stuff is up to about here, and here is nasty. So I can't get to this fitting, or this valve. I think this valve is bad, because it won't stay. It's coming back out now. It won't stay in. And I think this is what is supposed to release the spring brakes. I'm not sure about this one. I don't know what it does. It says parking brakes, but it's backwards from what it should be. Usually if you want to drive a truck, you push the knob in and it releases the brakes. This one says pull it out. I don't know what that is. But no air leaks in here anyway, not yet. Brakes work. This light started working for some reason. It wasn't earlier. Now it's not working. I think it just works when it wants to. This doesn't work at all. I think there's a switch on top of the trans that is for the deep reduction in the transmission. I think I'm just going to take this out and put it here, because I'm not going to need that anyway. So I think we're going to end that one here. We got some air leaks fixed. I still need to get that under the dash cleaned out, so I can get that valve out and replace it. I don't know what's next. Something's next. Probably don't want to do it. There's a lot of fuel lines. I still need to replace the return lines and stuff, go to the tank, tidy a bunch of stuff up. I need to make a bracket for this air tank because it's just hanging out there. Kind of wanted to wait to do that until I get the fittings and stuff to do that. I need to mount the air dryer, things like that. We'll get to replacing all these air lines and brake chambers and all kinds of good stuff. Need to get some airbags for it. Yeah. So I think we're going to leave this one here. I'm going to go find a shop vac probably and vacuum out at least the floors if I can get it up to the house. I'd really like to try and pressure wash it. I have to talk to a guy about a set of wheels. Found a set of 24.5 aluminum wheels to put on the front. I'm going to do aluminum wheels on the front. I'm going to paint the 2-hole steel wheels on the back, probably silver. Probably something to match. Probably match this silver or get close to it. It's not a huge deal. Just wanted to clarify some things that I seen in the comments. This truck is just a toy for me. It's not going back to work. The only thing that this thing's ever going to pull is the 24-foot gooseneck that I brought it home on. And I have a 33-foot fifth wheel camper I'll probably pull with it. I'm going to try and move that fifth wheel forward and mount the gooseneck ball on the back of it. As far as the frame and stuff is concerned, I'm not super worried about it. I'm going to fix it before it does any kind of towing. The frame is in bad shape. You can see this big giant crack right here in it. And it's been welded here once. I'm sure this crack goes on up under the fifth wheel. I would imagine this frame, even with that crack in it, is just as strong as the frame on my F350 pickup. Like I said, I'm definitely going to fix it. I just wanted to make sure that the engine was good and the transmission was okay. Get it running and driving, because I didn't want to put a whole lot of work into this thing to find out that the engine was bad, or the transmission was no good, or one of the diffs was bad or something. Because at that point, engines are pretty expensive. I'm working on a pretty tight budget here. I already worked 2 jobs to finance this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's just my main concern was the mechanical stuff. I can weld metal together, you know, fix the frame rails, fix rust, whatever. That's not a huge deal. I'm not really worried about that. I would really like to stretch this thing out. Not a crazy long stretch. Put a later model cutoff on it would be great. Just not right now. I just want to get it to where I can drive it, have some fun with it, and that's all. You know, get it looking halfway decent. When I fix the frame, I'm going to go ahead and paint the frame, paint the undercarriage and all that stuff. I want to paint it a dark blue to match this. And I'm going to leave the cab alone. I'm going to clean it up, put a shine on it, and just leave it alone because I like the way it looks. Find a new bumper for it. And that's going to be about it. But yeah, I do plan on fixing the frame. I just want to get all the mechanical and all the super expensive stuff out of the way first. I really don't think it's going to be that bad to fix the frame. Plus, this thing's not going to be pulling 80,000 pounds. So, I think the frame is plenty strong enough. I just do really want to fix that. I need to. So, yeah. I'm going to go find a shop vac. And thanks for watching if you've watched this far. And I'll see you on the next one. Later.